Hey guys, welcome back to Dire Armory. Today we're going to be testing out some new products, and I've got my buddy Matt here. Matt is a police officer. How long have you been a police officer?
About 4 years.
4 years. Yep. On the job, so eons of experience. But one thing he does have experience with is cleaning guns. So we are going to actually be testing out some new products. Okay. Can you hear it?
Sounds wet.
It is wet. So this company, Shooter Lube, has got some really cool products. This is actually like an unboxing video because even the box was open because I pulled some of it out before. You have not seen any of this stuff.
I have not seen any of it. So like anybody who's ever started as a rookie in anything, I have shot a lot of guns and I've cleaned a lot of guns, both mine and other people's. I have not ever used Shooter Lube.
Have you heard of the company?
I've heard of them, yeah.
You got like targeted on Facebook, probably.
Oh, of course,
yeah.
And Instagram and all the ads.
Yes,
but I have never used any.
So
of their stuff.
I always saw the ads and I was like, I was not skeptical, but I was just never putting the time to actually do the research on it.
Right. As we'll see in a minute, I don't clean my guns nearly enough, so we'll really put the stuff to the test.
Yeah. So let's see what's in the box.
Okay.
Right. So we got these litless cleaning cloths. And two, I gotta throw the disclaimer on there that this was sent to us for free. That's not going to impede my review at all. I'm gonna give an honest review no matter what. But full disclosure, it was sent to me for free. That's main reason why I brought you in. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of have a third party. We can have like a third party,
absolutely
unbiased opinion. A few of these. And some tactical patches.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
yes.
Those are nice. And this is kind of what it looks like. So they advertise like a two-stage cleaning system. So most of them are like the CLPs, the Clean, Lube, and Protect, and they're kind of all-in-one deals. The way they do it is in a two-stage system. So you have like a solvent cleaner, and then you have your like oil stage 2, which is more of like your lube or oil.
Okay.
So let's get you one of these. Get you one of these, and then they have these like little applicators. So you have like a spray bottle.
Okay.
Which there you go. There's one, and then they have two different types. I don't know which one you want. They have like this little cap, like this all-in-one little cap thing, and then they have the one with like a needle type.
The needle end? I'll take that one.
Needle end. Needle end?
For
I'm
sure.
going to go, just to switch it up, I'm going to go with this one. So, let's put them on. So they claim a lot of stuff, like on the side, odorless, no water, fully evaporates, leaves no residue, no hazardous ingredients per EPA. So if we want to do shots later.
Little taste test?
Little taste test?
We might.
High flashpoint, so don't smoke around it probably.
Good to know.
Non-corrosive, does not freeze, not flammable.
Those are all good things.
Those are all good things. Yeah. So I'm going to put my little spray bottle on. This just screws on here. And there's different lengths of the spray bottles because they have two different... these are both stage 1 cleaners. So they actually sell them in two different sizes. Okay. So you have like a 4 ounce and an 8 ounce.
Before we get started with anything, do you have any ammo?
No.
Near you?
Yeah, so we're going to make
ditch.
sure, obviously, anytime you're cleaning guns, clear your chamber of anything. And we're clear on that. And then clear on the vector. Why don't you tell us about the setup, actually?
Yeah, so I got a Chris Vector running a Silencer Co-Octane 9. A little cheap Chinese copy of the, what was that thing called? Just the Law folder.
Yeah.
This is the not Law folder because there's no reciprocating buffer, so it doesn't matter. This thing is dirty. It is really, really dirty.
I can see the dirt from here.
Because I don't clean it enough.
It's like...
And for the purpose of this test, you told me we were going to be doing this, so I just ran it, made it really extra dirty. So we'll see how it does.
Yeah, so 4 ounce and 8 ounces. And I think... I mean, I might have to get independently fact-checked but I believe there's only a $5 difference between the 4 ounce and the 8 ounce.
Okay.
So, I don't know, something to keep in mind. More bang for the buck. And then these actually come in different sizes. These spray ones.
Like a super sprayer and a medium sprayer?
No, like a size for the short bottles.
Oh, okay.
For the 4 ounce. For the 4. So, walk me through how you take that thing down, because that's a funky weapon.
Yeah, it is. I've got all the pins on now, but there's just 4 pins in the big pin holes.
Yeah.
They come right out with little spring detents on the end.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing separates into 2 halves. This is the serialized firearm piece. So this one's in 9mm, but you can get 10 millimeter, 45. I believe they make 40 cal, whatever you want, and it'll all work on the same upper receiver.
Yeah. So if you had an upper, you could buy just the separate lower.
Certainly could. Yes.
And then run 10 mil.
Mm-hmm.
Because the barrel and everything is up here, which is funny because most guns, like the lower receiver, usually house
the
trigger.
Opposite. Yeah.
So this actually, the trigger mechanism is actually in the upper, and it the hammer actually swings downward.
Right.
Which is really cool.
And that's all to facilitate this downward moving bolt.
Yeah.
Man, this thing really is dirty.
It doesn't say.
I'm a little bit ashamed.
It's like really dirty. But that's what we want. We want it to be as dirty as possible so we can actually test these products.
Move this up. We'll worry about the receivers in a minute, but I really wanted to clean this bolt and just see how
we got t-shirts
how it
too.
does on that serious gunk. T-shirts, okay.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm a wearer of t-shirts, so
t-shirts do.
Absolutely.
Have you ever worn a t-shirt before? I'm just gonna put this out of the way. We're here. I'm gonna change into my t-shirt. I'm back. Shooter Lube. This is a comfortable t-shirt. Feel it.
Yeah.
Now I feel like an official brand rep. I can't say anything bad now.
So one thing right off the start that I'm gonna point out that I like, they've taken the time with these little sprayers to add in a stop.
Safety.
Fantastic.
So whenever you're holding these, make sure you use trigger discipline.
No, but if I'm going to throw it in a bag or something, I don't want spraying all over my other gear.
That's true.
The fact that I can stop it, that they took that little bit of time to put that in there, I like.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. So directions, per the directions. Oh, you're just spraying away. Ready to go. High flashpoint and lack of chlorinated solvents and other hazardous ingredients provide an unprecedented degree of safety. For best results, follow up with Shooter Lube Stage 1. Stage 2, Extreme Weapons of Oil. So basically you just spray it on and wipe off, I guess, with this.
We're going to try just that?
Yeah. I'm actually going to be running my... I've got my AR here. And
which I've seen you shoot, and it looks a tad over gas.
It is way over gas. Weapons clear. This thing is, I did not put an adjustable gas block in it. I was running it unsuppressed for a while my suppressor was in NFA jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a mid-length gas system in it, thinking that a mid-length gas system would, help
mitigate a little bit
of that and everything. And there are options on the market, like these Radiant Raptors. They make ported versions that actually dispel the gas out and stuff. This is no gas mitigation taken into consideration at all. So if you see videos of me shooting and I'm blinking, it's because first of all I'm wearing, in one video I'm wearing these glasses.
Right.
They're not super safety approved, but there's also no sidewall to, the gas just gets in there and I'm blinking all over the place. But anyways, all that to say.
So if you've ever been shooting suppressed and gotten a little gas in the face, go ahead and hit that like button.
All that to say, all this gas blowback is just gumming up my bolt. I mean, like crazy. So you can actually see how black this is. Normally this bolt, this is the BCM ion bonded BCG, and it's in flat, dark earth, and it's just, you can't see any.
Showered in carbon.
It's showered in carbon. So this is going to be an interesting project because this is such an extreme condition that this bolt is in. Yeah, look at that.
Gross.
You want to hold it?
Yeah.
So we'll do a BCG cleaning. I'd say that is dirty.
Have fun.
But I want to take this in separate stages because there is a proper way to clean your weapons that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people I notice make mistakes like over-lubing.
Certainly. We're going to get to that in a minute. One thing I like to do is get everything, I use my solvent to break up, especially break up all this carbon, especially when it's been sitting there a long time or you've, put 500 or 1,000 rounds through your gun and you haven't cleaned it in between.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people when they're running classes or something will just drop a little bit of oil, lube it up a little more, keep running. So they get dirty. I like to use my solvents, let them sit if you need to, and then wipe them dry. They've got to be dry before we go to the next step because you don't want to be putting your nice lube on top of your solvents.
That's probably the point of the high flash point.
Yeah, when it said that it evaporates, that'd be very interesting to see how well these dry.
Yeah. It says leaves no root, fully evaporates, and it has a high flash point. So like when it comes to like flash points, the reason that things are high flash points is because they evaporate super quickly.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
So now this has been sitting for just a minute. I'm gonna
spray
wipe on it.
Oh, I forgot to take my safety off. Come on. Oh yeah. It's like sludge. So this is a titanium nitride enhanced firing pin. This is actually from a company called Wolfpack Armory. And I'm actually curious to see how this thing does too. I mean, this thing is solid black. This is so dirty. I'm gonna just go ahead and spray all those down. Got my pin removed. Man, this is what this gas key looks like. This is like actually got some of that like green corrosion that you get when you have so much carbon buildup. You see that?
Oh yeah.
This is like...
That's common, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's common just if you don't clean your rifles, which... Jeez. I mean...
Right, so we're going to take that as an example. Let's go ahead and... You just spray that down?
This is sprayed. Let's...
Okay,
I'm going to spray the gas key now. Just let it sit for a minute. Alright. This is going to be my first...
So I will say, I'm impressed. If,
How much dirt are you actually getting off that thing? Can I see that?
I mean, well, I know this was a dirty rag already, but I just went around with my finger and took off all of that gunk and then got in there with a Q-tip. This is clean now. And there are little bits of copper on there. It's not rust.
I'm excited to wipe this thing down.
It looks good, and it did evaporate quickly.
I can see that it looks like
this is dry already,
dry.
And I've just been over it with a towel.
Yeah. Let's wipe off this ion bonded BCG, and let's just see what it does. It's been sitting on there for a couple minutes. Wow.
Just come right off.
Yep. I mean, that's like I'm not even scrubbing. I'm literally just wiping.
Yeah.
You can see the logo now. Yeah, it's just coming right off. That's awesome. I would actually say that this even exceeded what I thought it would do. I think I read so many reviews on it before I actually tested it that I knew it was going to be good just from what people were saying.
Sure.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have even probably taken the time to do this whole video.
Right.
But the fact that this has been sitting on here for at least a week, at least, and had so much buildup, and I just wiped it off with zero effort. I mean,
I'm really liking the fact specifically that it evaporates. Like I can leave it soaking, it stays on there. When I start wiping it off and to get a nice thin coat, it really just evaporates off.
Yep.
Most of the time I spend cleaning my gun is trying to get it dry after I've wiped the solvent on there, because it just stays around forever. Like I said, I don't want to apply my lube while that solvent is still present, or it's not going to do any good. It's going to degrade my lube.
Yeah.
So why bother?
Yep. Just like cuts down time.
Absolutely.
Like, especially if you have a range day and you're bringing like, you've got an arsenal with you. Especially for us, if you haven't seen any Dire Armory videos, go check them out. We'll shoot a variety of guns throughout the day. We'll go through, 10 different types of firearms between pistols, ARs. We've got vectors. We've got some really cool stuff that we're shooting, and wow.
So now with Glocks, like you saw me spray down that bolt and then wipe it off. I'm more hesitant to do that with something like a Glock because they've got a lot of crevices. And certainly you can do it if you want to take the whole thing down to its bones. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spray this onto my cloth. And I'll also try their lint-free towel.
Yeah, try it.
Spray a little bit of that
nice.
solvent.
These are actually really nice. A lot of people are confused about how to actually clean their Glocks. Can you, run through that?
I mean, so the main thing, again, is just to make sure whatever you put on here that's wet needs to be dry before moving on to the lube stage. A lot of people like to coat their stuff with solvent, and then again with lube. We're going to get to that when I finish cleaning with this solvent. But I don't want to just spray this all in. You can if you like. I'm not going to, because it's really hard to dry all that stuff up and clean in all these little crevices. I mean, and this gun again is dirty, not quite as dirty as that Vector was, but I'm gonna actually apply the solvent to the rag and then clean it that way.
This looks almost brand new.
Looks really good.
I mean, I'm actually pulling off flakes of carbon. As I scrub it, I'm seeing flakes pop off.
And these are not rigid. I mean, they're not rigid towels. They're just normal, a microfiber cloth.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's night and day from what it was. I mean, obviously you can still sit there and nitpick every little piece of dirt, but I mean, just that alone, and it's already almost dry. I want to wipe my titanium firing pin. This is the enhanced firing pin from Wolfpack Armory. Titanium nitride out. The metal itself has got properties that
so
carbon doesn't really
that's going to be assisting a little bit in getting that clean.
For sure. Yeah, it's shiny.
Excellent.
Like it's brand new. That was just wiping it down with the rag after using the Shooter's Lube. That's awesome. Cleaning my gas key now. Gas keys they just build up carbon like
it's their job.
Crazy, yeah. Now I probably will actually have to get something to scrape that build up off.
Right, and I mean a little bit of buildup is normal if you shoot your rifle a lot, and even if you are good about cleaning, you're still gonna have some carbon buildup there.
Mm-hmm. But it took this almost down to a shiny finish.
And that's impressive.
That is the part that actually the gas tube actually blows into. I mean, that's this is ground zero for carbon buildup.
So on Glocks, a couple of things you really want to pay attention to are any points that metal is touching metal, and that's really not that many spots. On the frame, for example, which I haven't cleaned yet, you've got 4 contact points that your slide's going to ride on. So
let's get a close-up of those contact points, just so people know. I mean,
as we clean this off.
It sounds elementary, but a lot of new gun owners are out there.
Right.
I have friends
100%.
Right now that they just purchased their first firearm over the last couple months, just because of everything that's going on.
Right, and that's the story for a lot of people, some of my friends as well. There are these 4 wings, 2 front and 2 in the back. Those are the contact points, the metal on metal. Oops. metal-on-metal contact points for your slide connecting to your frame. Okay, so those are going to be important. I don't want to say to polish. You don't want to take any power tools or anything to those, but you want them clean. And those are also going to be the 4 points that I do eventually lube for the slide to ride smoothly. I don't need to lube the entire channel on this slide. That's just going to cause, lube going everywhere when I shoot. It's also going to attract a lot of dirt. So that's another reason that we dry everything, and then we use as little lube as possible. You want effective lube. You want to use enough that it's going to lubricate those metal-on-metal parts. But you don't want to use so much that it's just pulling in more dirt. It's going to make your cleaning process next time even harder. It may even cause jams prematurely. So the other spots are going to be this little... Oh, well, the name escapes me right now. The rise in this trigger bar interfaces with your firing pin safety. So those are going to be 2 parts that you also want really clean.
And that is the internal safety in
it
the
is,
Glock.
yes. Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, Glocks don't have safeties.
No, they certainly do. This firing pin will not move forward until this is depressed, which all happens in Glock's genius and how striker-fired guns work that I'm not going to explain. But it is certainly a safety, yes.
There's videos on YouTube of that.
Right. And then finally, when you come back here to your actual trigger movement, trigger bar back here interfaces on some metal-on-metal parts. If you've ever heard of the penny Glock trigger job or the polishing trigger job, is basically all that is polishing the metal parts back here. So just the metal-on-metal contact points, the ones that you want to make sure are absolutely clean. So a lot of these plastic parts, I'm not going to say they don't matter. You don't want them overly dirty, but they are less important.
Very nice. I'm about wrapped up with this bolt.
Get the inside of this frame a quick wipe down.
Yeah, that's How often is there like a round count? You think of like you should clean your gun every 1,000 rounds?
Not necessarily. I do it by use. I mean, if I'm going to go out to the range all day long and I'm shooting a whole bunch, then I'm going to clean my guns after. What you don't want to do is let all this carbon sit for a long time. I mean, we've done exactly that
like what
to
I've
put
just
this to put this to the test.
Yeah.
But after you shoot your guns, you want to clean them, and that's gonna keep them fresh and pretty. But I mean, if you go to the range in 1 week, shoot 1,000, 2,000 rounds, you may need to drop, an extra few drops of lube in there throughout the week, but only clean if you need to. On a gun like yours, where you're overgassed and you're pushing a lot of carbon back into the chamber and stuff, I would definitely
be cleaning a lot more than
certainly.
what I am.
Oh, and again, I forgot to mention this, but the feed ramp on a Glock barrel is another point you want to make sure is absolutely cleaned up. I went over that.
That's probably the most important.
Certainly. Yeah. When you're feeding rounds into the barrel is very important. You don't want that dirty.
I haven't even put my applicator on yet for the lube yet. So
I'm just putting a little bit on these rails.
Oh, you're using the needle applicator?
I am using the needle.
How's that thing?
I like it a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the old standard little twist cap applicator. When you look at your bolt, a lot of people might not know this, but these 2 holes.
Yes.
That is probably a job for the needle applicator. I mean, you could just drip some oil in there, but that's actually what the holes were there, so that you can oil your actual bolt.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Just like we were talking about the rails on the Glock frame, this bolt also has those rails, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're right here on the bottom, and then right here on the top, it's kind of split in 2.
Mm-hmm.
On the opposite side, you got that rail, and then the top rail, again, that's kind of split in 2. So I usually take a little lube with my finger and wipe those down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a drop on this side, and then a drop on this side, and then those 2 holes, and that's all I lube as far as the bolt goes.
Yeah.
I know when I first got into guns, before I knew better, I just put lube all over everything.
Oh, me
right?
too.
I mean, the more lube, the better, right?
Yeah, inside of
right.
the upper receiver, I'd lube that up. I would just slinging lube like crazy.
I clean a lot of people's guns because they just haven't cleaned as many as,
Yeah.
They've cleaned their own a few times, or they've watched some YouTube videos, and they're almost always over lubed.
Yep.
Which, I mean, lube's a good thing. You want some in there to help those metal parts interact with each other.
Yep.
You just don't need.
This
you don't need a ton.
Okay, so this actually works okay. I think it'd work better with the needle tip applicator, but just a couple drops.
Yeah, that looks good.
Inside, and then, like you were saying, I kind of do the same thing.
Just
run
it
put
along.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'll get my finger and just kind of hit these contact surfaces right here. I'll hit all 4 points. Get a little bit more. And that's basically really all you need.
Mm-hmm. One test, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
To see if you've got, lube in there, you want to see it move free, it's just to flick it. Push it in, flick it out. It should flick nice and simple. And then if you've
learn something new every day.
I don't know if you can hear that, but you should have your firing pin inside. Should be bouncing around.
Yep.
If it's dirty and gummed up and it's full of old nasty lube, it's not going to shake like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you did that, it actually left a spray of lube right there. So maybe a little too much.
I mean, maybe, and as you're working it, that's fine. I would probably wipe this before it actually goes back into the gun.
Yeah.
That looks really good compared to what it looked like before.
Yeah.
It looks good.
We should have taken before and after pictures. I mean, that's like, it literally looks almost like the day I bought it. And I've probably run about 4,000 rounds through this BCM bolt. I've got a decent amount of rounds through this, and that's mostly from filming videos, and then we have to do we'll shoot a bunch, and then we'll redo takes, and we got to load up a new mag, and it's been, with the ammo shortage lately, it's been brutal. But wow, yeah, that's quite the difference.
Overall, I'm going to say that I'm impressed with the Shooter Lube, specifically the solvent, the way that it evaporated so quickly. That's awesome.
Yes.
The lube that I've been using for years did not come with any awesome applicator tip like that. So it's a lot. Yeah. It's way messier. I kind of, I talk about how little I like to use, but I end up squirting too much and then trying to spread it around with my finger and then wiping that off. Right. That was very handy.
Yep.
I want one of those. And then the solvent was great.
Yep. I think over these two applicators, I think I'm a fan of the needle tip more.
Okay. Just
having handled both now. But for sure, I would say it exceeded expectations.
It works. Those are two really dirty guns.
And that's just not because I'm wearing the t-shirt.
Cut right through it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see with your own eyes. Mm-hmm. Spraying this and literally flakes of carbon just peeling off, like no scrubbing, no wire brushing.
No, just wiping.
Yep. That's
impressed.
I'm impressed. Thanks so much for joining us at Dire Armory. We're hopefully going to be doing a lot more videos like this, just tips and tricks. Make sure you go to shooterlube.com. That's where they have all these solvents. They have multiple kits, obviously multiple applicators, 2-stage weapons cleaning solvent kits. These things are apparently awesome.
I like it.
Yep. And thanks to Matt for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hopefully you can come back and do a lot more.
We'll see. If you get more Shooters Lube, I'll be back.